As we get closer and closer to the primaries, all the Democratic candidates are learning that while the beginning of the race was fun and games, once you get into crunch time, people start digging into your history. And this weekend, everyone was talking about a confrontation involving Joe Biden, the candidate with the most history.
Democratic frontrunner Joe Biden just got into it with a local voter. Words were exchanged and then a challenge.
I've got two problems with you. One is you're damn near as old as I am. You're selling access to the president just like he was. So
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. And no one has ever said that. And you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups together here, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Let's take an IQ test, okay?
I didn't say you were doing anything wrong.
You said I set up my son to work in an oil company. Isn't that what you said? Get your words straight, Jack. Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
It looks like you don't have any more backbone than Trump does when you're selling it.
Whoa. Damn. That got testy. It was also a weird moment, though, you have to admit. This guy said he was concerned that Biden might be too old to run for president. And then instead of addressing the man's concerns, Biden challenged him to push-ups. You realize, Joe Biden, this could have ended terribly. Because what if that old man beat Biden? Now, he's the Democratic frontrunner, right? Yeah, that's how it works. We've all watched Black Panther. If you beat the guy in charge, you become the guy in charge. That's how it works. That's how it works. Would have been push-ups. The old guy would have ripped off his shirt like, is this your nominee? Is this your nominee? And then every one of those old white people in the town hall would have been there like, oh. And I think this is what shows you what's wrong with American politics right now. A candidate and a voter should never be calling each other fat and old, all right? They should be calling each other's mamas fat and old. Let's keep things civilized, people. But while Biden is fighting off corruption allegations and challenging voters to meet him out in the parking lot, his great-great-great-grandson, Pete Buttigieg, is dealing with a controversy about a lack of transparency. You see, a lot of people were concerned that Buttigieg wasn't allowing the press to attend his fundraising events. But when he was asked about the issue, Buttigieg couldn't even pretend to give a shit.
Buttigieg is doing a little bit better. He's getting more attention. He says he will think about opening his fundraisers, and he had a tart response on Friday to reporters who asked when he'll make that decision.
As the candidate, can't you just direct your campaign to open those fundraisers?
What's that?
As the candidate, can't you just direct your campaign to open those fundraisers?
Yes.
And why haven't you done so?
What's that?
Why haven't you done so yet?
There are a lot of considerations, and I'm thinking about it.
Ask question.
Can you give us an example of those considerations?
No. Thank you.
Damn. Looks like someone started growing chest hair. Oh. You know, I know we always joke about Buttigieg looking like he's 15, but in that press conference, he was acting like a teenager too, right? This is like that moment. Did you do your homework? Yes. Do you have it? Yeah. Can I see it? No. Now, Buttigieg might have been all gangsta at the podium, but the backlash to this was so swift that he and his team had to announce today that they will now be opening up his fundraisers to the press. And one thing Buttigieg did that was really slick was that he took his transparency issues and tried to turn them around on one of his opponents.
Buttigieg's campaign has also been calling on Elizabeth Warren to release her tax returns from before 2008 during her time as a corporate lawyer. Last night, she did, revealing that she made nearly $2 million from private legal work since 1986.
$2 million? I knew it! Elizabeth Warren's out here acting all folksy, but it turns out this whole time she had a job. Because that's what's funny about this story. No, if you read it, the headlines make it sound like Elizabeth Warren was balling out of control. But in reality, she earned $2 million over 30 years. Yeah, which averages out to a modest $60,000 a year. That is the complete opposite of balling. At $60,000 a year, you aren't popping champagne in the club. You're carefully removing the cork, pouring it into a glass, and then saving the rest for the time you come back to the club. So that's a quick update of what's happening in the Democratic race. And you know what's funny about this whole thing for me? The Democrats are trying so hard to defend even the smallest skeletons in their closets. Meanwhile, Trump's rolling through the streets with a squad of skeletons like, these aren't skeletons, these are just skinny people. And if you don't believe me, you can do push-ups.